everybody, I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing a 60-minute session for Delinda today. Delinda is so excited to be connecting with you. Pretty impressed with these updates here. All right, I'm going to read this out loud and then I'm going to get started. You say, the Whitman clan has moved to Virginia. I was awakened up in my new bedroom to the sound of so many birds, and when I was stepping outside, a feather awaited me. Would you tap into feathered fowl around my presence and see what they have to say about the neighborhood? I'm looking to ground and feel my incredible vitality return. In my personal meditative practices, I have a massive tree that grows over a cave. Would you go in and assist with the groundwork? I have really enjoyed the collective readings you post and was so excited I got to join in for your Patreon live stream. Thank you for bringing bright collective healing energy to us all. Aw, thank you. Thank you for all of that. This just sounds beautiful just to read, just to experience myself in your day-to-day shoes in a new neighborhood with the feathered fowl, the incredible vitality returning to you. I mean, you say you're looking to ground and feel it return, but I feel like there's something about it is returning. It already has returned. You know, it's just getting caught up with that. It's pretty exciting, actually. This meditative practice with the massive tree that grows over a cave, like, wow, how cool is that? Everything about this is very earthy and very, I like the spirit, I like the energy of it. Feathered fowl. See what they say about the neighborhood. Looking to ground and feel incredible vitality returning. I'll see what I can do to help with that process as well. The massive tree that grows over the cave, would you go and assist with the groundwork? Oh yeah. I'm going to relax. Get started now. I feel like I'm stepping into spring with this. Okay. Okay. This is what they want me to do first. It's almost like a classic scenario that when you make a big move from one location to another location, like one state to another state, one country to another country, you have to catch up with yourself as you exist in the new location. So while it appears every aspect of you is there in Virginia, it's almost like there's aspects of you still in your previous location, okay? So I've got to get you caught up with yourself, okay? So that's the first thing I'm called to do. You're instantly like, really? Really? I'm surprised by that. And when I try to go back, it's almost like the door is closed. However, it's like, how do I want to put this? I'm going to open this door and we're going to close it correctly. So there's no door anymore and everything is just open and free flowing. You're like, no. I'm not going into the past. I'm living in the present now. Okay. I find this so fascinating. Like, there's a reason I'm being shown this, so I want to see where this goes. And that is honoring your request to stay in the present, but I am going to feel out the balance and just see if we can just own that. All right, so I'm going to allow you to remain in the present here in Virginia, and then I am going to disconnect from your energy field, so this has nothing to do with you in the present, and then I'm going to go to your previous self in the previous location, okay? because I have to do this. There's something that, like some kind of loose end that's still lingering there, flapping in the wind or something, and I just need to finalize it so that all energies have returned to you in the present, okay? So I'm leaving you now. Oh man, so what you left behind is like, what it looks like on the energy side of thing is major damage. You left major damage behind. I see images of what is like the moon. It doesn't say it is the moon, but it looks like a planet or a moon of its own kind that was hit many times by massive meteors. Like there's huge divots, there's huge, like almost like bombs blew up as well, like these huge craters. And I see disoriented, I see really skinny, lacking full nourishment. I see like the wounded soldier crawling on the ground, trying to get out of the carnage. You know, it's that kind of concept. And it's like bruises that won't heal. It's scenes from the movie Misery, right? Stephen King story. Hi, this very nice person welcoming you into their home turns out to be a psychopath, is now strapping you down and taking sledgehammers to your kneecaps. Like, it's a nightmare. It's called Misery for a reason, right? And so I experienced like broken bones, like sledgehammers hitting kneecaps, and there's no getting out of this, and there's no healing this. I have to go into this carnage, so it's not, it doesn't exist in your present properly, okay? Because you can say all day long, I feel complete, but you don't know the subconscious levels that you have been impacted, and you have broken bones in your subconscious. You want those to heal so you literally can say you are complete, and you're complete at all aspects of your expression, okay? All right, so you do not want to be here. You are done with this. And I see you, and it doesn't look like you. You have a bandage wrapped around your head so many times. Your head is like, it looks ridiculous. It's almost like you're wearing a hat worth of bandages around your head. And you're kind of, it's almost cartoon-like stars going around and around and cuckoo birds and stuff, and your eye is like twitching, and it's like bulging, and it's black around it, and you're really, really ultra skinny, like starved to death skinny. You can't stand, you can't move. And you say, why did this have to be me? Why did me have to experience this personality or this identity or this self-expression? Like, why did I have to be this character in the book, the story of my life? Why did my story have to include this character? Like, why? I did never want to be this character. I didn't want to be this character. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. I wanted harmony, and I started to hear the birds singing because you wanted the birds to chirp it in your energy field, in your life, and it represents harmony. It represents the world in balance. It represents something, a magic of nature, and it represents life, family, balance, creativity, freedom of self-expression. It represents many things, but I would say harmony is the loudest, because all of this stuff, when it flows, it's in harmony, right? Oh man, we're gonna go with this, okay? Okay, a lot of this is heart level stuff. There's a big somebody, larger than life apparently, before your very meager self, okay? And they have, it's either like a croquet mallet or a sledgehammer. It kind of is both, almost like What's the Joker's girlfriend's name? Why can't I think of her name? She's like humor and silliness combined with psychopath, right? So so we have larger than life standing here. It's a person. It's a humongous being that's so tall as like the sky itself, you know. Creating the inner child silliness of the croquet mallet, intermixing it with the terrifying psychopath energy of the sledgehammer, okay? And so that's what's standing here. And you're just this like shaking, meager person. Okay. This is happening behind the closed door that you refuse to open. Makes sense why. I'm done with that. I left that. I'm done with that. It makes sense why. However, what if it's not done with you per se? You know, I don't want to put it like that because I'm honoring the statement that you are done with that. The door is closed. You've moved on. Okay, so let's go with that as you stated it. I leave you. I'm going to go to what remains of you that's still there. And we'll keep a wall between you two, but we'll heal this here until it's vibrationally aligned with the singing birds, and then we'll seamlessly merge you back together again as though none of this ever happened. Okay. All right, larger than life is going to have some fun with you. What's interesting is it takes this weird mallet and swings it down like the misery story, but as it goes to crush your kneecaps specifically, it's stopped by some sort of invisible barrier. Like there's only 1 inch between this mallet and your kneecaps, and it can't reach your kneecaps. I mean, I'm watching this, I'm like, oh, snap. Like, oh, universe has got something up its sleeve. Larger than life, you can't do damage. How does that make you feel? Let's see. You know, naturally, the approach is to keep trying. This larger than life is not going to give up on destroying you completely. It's going to make sure it destroys you, but for some reason it can't bonk you on the head. It can't hurt your hands or your feet. It just only your knees for some reason. And it's not able to reach your knees. There's some sort of invisible energy that's there that is preventing it from hurting you, from creating any more misery. It's not understanding how this could be or why this is. It's not necessarily going out of control. It's just like, why isn't this working? And the thing that freaks it out the most is that as it's not able to harm you, the circulation that was feeding its presence, its reason for existing, it isn't feeding it anymore, because the exchange doesn't exist. So now it's like a balloon that's starting to like make the balloon noise as it farts into its like little deflated state. I mean, it's like this, okay? It's just coming on down to its deflated state, because there's no circulation anymore. And it's odd, it's like there's no circulation between the pain in your knees and this thing. Has no food, and this is not working. This isn't happening. There's no circulation, so it's essentially dying. Okay. And as it deflates and becomes less and less and less of its expression, because it doesn't need to, its purpose is complete, so to speak. You're becoming more full of energy. So this is exchanging its self for its life. For it's like, as it deflates, you inflate, okay, with vitality. As it deflates, then you're inflating, you're becoming more full of vitality. But it doesn't necessarily solve the equation of what this is about anyway. So while you feel more alive and more capable and more energetic, there are still, it's almost like broken sentences. And I simply say that you need time. I mean, that literally is the medicine here, is time. You need time. You say whether there's something bashing my knees in, I'm sitting lifeless in these craters of damage, the bruises that never heal, the sentences that are broken. Like, whether my existence is this or my existence is the birds singing in the harmony and the meditation and the tree with the cave, like it's almost like essentially life is always kind of like an odd broken story. And that is coming from, those words are spoken through the voice box of a broken version of yourself. And so the reality and the truth does definitely feel that way. And she gets mad at me for saying it like this, because she says, but it is the truth. All stories are broken. Even when they seem perfect and happy, something will come along, something will happen, it will become broken again. I was like, boy, you're starting to sound like the voice of what created larger than life, psychopath, funny mallet person. Like, that's a kind of voice that creates that alter ego that's now smashing your kneecaps in and giving you something to cry about. Like, you're choosing to have something to cry about right now because it feels real, because then it is real, right? So we need to completely grow out of this state. Oh boy. And you just kind of whimper these words, please let me die. What I'm going to do is I am going to take all of this information, everything that I've seen, felt, experienced, and I'm going to bring the details to the present version of you, and I want you to answer yourself. I want you to decide what you want for yourself. Let's see if my guides will allow this. It kind of feels a little barfy, like this could be a really harsh challenge, and I may not be allowed to do it. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah, I totally can. Because it's all contained inside of me. It's not, we created a really good barrier between these two worlds, basically. And so it has nothing to do with you. I have it contained inside myself, so it's not contaminating your space, okay? I give you access. It's really weird. It's literally on like a petri dish that you could put under the microscope, but it is representative of a movie reel that is the size of like a tiny little cell in the body, and then you're going to look at it under a microscope and then experience it. This is how I am presenting it to you. Almost like it in and of itself is a virus or something that needs to be only explored in certain circumstances with the right outfit and the right, like, gotta wash myself off after I look at this thing. It's like, wow, did you really leave that much contaminated energy, you know? You start to develop pink eye as you look at this movie reel through the microscope. And you start to kind of shake, and you start to feel like I tripped your trigger. You're starting to become angry. And I give you breath because I say, you need to answer that question. Because I need you to answer that question. Let yourself die, or what do you want to do? Come on. I'm like snapping, like, just none of that response there is real. That is you feeling the truth about yourself that you haven't resolved yet. We're going to resolve it right now so you can truly be in the present of where you are and get that vitality back, because you need this part of you to be transformed, to bring the energy back to yourself so that you are the brightest and most profound version of yourself that you can be in the present. This is literally the first thing you're asking of me. You can't speak. When you try to speak, liquidy, oily, gasoline type liquid comes out of your mouth. It also sounds like helium, a silly voice, but it's kind of like maybe if you blew up a balloon and then swished it with your hands, it would make that kind of weird noise. So you have that sound coming through. You feel like you're infected by an infected version of yourself. You feel, I'm just like, you're like writing down the list. I have this symptom and this symptom of myself. It's like the funniest thing. I never thought of it that way. I have this symptom of myself going on. I have 10 symptoms of myself, and they're making me sick to my stomach. 10 symptoms of myself. Wow, how interesting. I say, my guys are laughing too, because it seems like there's something happening that we don't really know completely yet. It's almost like you're starting to transmute this yourself. Because I feel inspired to tell you that look at all these singing birds are here for you, and the sunlight is here for you, and the tree and the cave, like this neighborhood, all of this energy of this space that you're in is divine, and all that divine energy is here for you. It's not all entirely up to you to handle. Literally, you're not, what is it, Atlas that carries the earth on his shoulders? Like, you're not carrying all the burdens. You're diversifying them, you're spreading them out across the energies of the land and the plants and the structures of nature and the birds, the animals, the people. Like, it's almost like too much has been falling upon your shoulders, and you're going to find that the stress on your shoulders is becoming less and less and less. And they're asking you to diversify that energy. Like, don't contain it all inside of you, diversify it outward. Let it be digested by other elements. Okay? We're going to snap that energy into yourself, and that includes all the damage. This is safe, okay? Because I see that energy has no choice but to return to you, and it's breaking that door down, which was a huge energetic wall, and everything that is who you are today. So you can't be who you are with no past. You are who you are because of the gift of the past. And so the past is breaking through that door and that wall. The past that you want to turn your back on is turning back on yourself. You can't do that. So it's breaking through that wall, and now you are becoming present with yourself. And that's good. And it's like it's got a bit of an illness with it. So let's see. I mean, it feels like illness. I say give into it, give into it. I'm not saying give into illness, give into your past, give into all that you are, give into yourself. We have to go through this process properly so we can transmute it properly, so we are in oneness with ourselves, right? Man, there's just like so many messed up voices coming out of your throat, like creepy demonic sounds, like if it's like a perfect horror movie, like Freddy Krueger's voice is coming through, and some like Jason, and then Michael Myers or something. I don't know, like this nuts is coming through your voice box, okay? Like cray cray is coming out, like, and different tonal notes of demonic sound, okay? An exorcism. I just smile at you and I glow. I say, give in to the love that is here. Give in and let it help you. Let it get in there and help you. Because what's cool is we don't have a knee breaker here in this environment. We have beings of like rays of the sun. These birds are hard to translate just yet, because I want to actually see them as individual spirits. But what comes to me is the sound of the birds and harmony, okay? And so like blanket of harmony, blanket of rainbow harmony is like being laid upon you. That's what it's like. And I start to get images of Cinderella and the birds that help her. You know, they also have the mice there too, but I see specifically the blue birds, and they have like a pink ribbon, and they're helping her to create this beautiful dress for what is going to be a dream come true with the prince, you know, like, and then midnight comes, right? But they're helping her to have that experience, because she can't do it alone. Cinderella cannot conquer her environment. She can't conquer this alone. Like, she needs help. And the same is being expressed here, that give into your environment and let it help you. Because you're like the Cinderella that has a ball, you know, to make it to the ball on time, you need to give into the help that is here. And it's like the nature is helping you, like these birds and these mice for Cinderella, right? It's a bit strange right now, because everything is becoming unclear, okay? Because you're a splotch, you basically turned into more on the creamy side of off-white, okay? You're on kind of like a yellower hue of off-white, and you're just like a splotch of paint. And it just doesn't make any sense. Vibrationally, you're a splotch of paint that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why this very extremely pale yellowish tan is disappointing, okay? It's like you paint a wall and you thought it was going to be different than this, and it ended up being like, it didn't really work. And I'm just not feeling it. It's just not working for me. That's what you are right now. You're like the paint I thought was gonna be just the right color is definitely not vibing with me. And it's almost like I'm not thinking so much as I am processing the concept of having to pick out another color and repaint, but I'm not going there yet with it. I'm just trying to see that this is better than what I'm seeing it right now. I'm kind of in one of those states where I'm not really letting myself think too hard about it, but I feel disappointed. Something you start to, I see it's you're beneath the surface of the splotch, but I see fish flopping, and you're near the ocean, and you start burping out and barfing out water, okay? Lots of water. And I hear the sound of really massive ships, and like the sound of the horn of the Titanic or something, like it's a really loud horn, okay? And again, fish flopping, like almost ridiculously so. I can hear fish flopping everywhere. all around, and you're still puking out huge like gasps worth of water. It's coming out of your system. And I experienced trying to breathe. It's almost like, again, the balloon. This balloon is full, let's say, of oxygen this time, or even helium, who knows, but just trying to find survival, trying to find your breath through breathing in what you can access in a balloon. It's not like the atmosphere you're breathing in some sort of carbon dioxide / helium or something. It's not going to give you vitality. You're still barfing out water. I mean, there's these moments of barf and then pause. Barf and then pause as I hear fish flapping, as I hear a really loud horn, okay, of a big, massive ship. And you kind of wince your eyes and there's tears coming down, and you just psychically say, when will this ever stop? I just laugh. I don't know. It's just like, yeah, I'm just laughing. I get it. I mean, it's like, this will stop. I swear to God, it really will. That's all I can do. That's all I can tell you. Like, this will stop. It really will. I swear to God, it will. We'll get you back to yourself. Everything's gonna be great. You say, no, it won't. And there starts to be something like gross. It's like bunch of leeches. It's like you're puking out bouquets of extremely big and massive long leeches. They're black and squirmy, and there's rope wrapped around them, and it's like a bouquet of leeches is being puked out of your emotional gut, like through your heart, through your throat, and out. Whew, it feels better. And I'm like, what else you got? What else? Let's see what else is in there. You got something else? I was like, what else? Maybe you'll puke out a loaf of bread or something. Who knows? What do you got? You lie on your side and you're extremely pale. And you have a horrible headache. Like remove my brain from my head, please, because my head is not stopping. Like, it just keeps exploding. I say, so it's like the worst hangover of all time. I mean, this is the honest process of coming into oneness with the self, okay, that endured all of this trauma in the past, that we are healing now in the present, so you can be your whole self. It's just like a hangover process, because we're transmuting and we're digesting so much information that it's a bit derailing on the physical body. But it's happening. I mean, we're doing this together right now, okay? So we're working through this right now. From beginning to end, we will get through this. Just a second. Larger than life. I was trying to be born here, and I feel it coming through your heart. But look, we got to reconcile this with larger than life. It's starting to turn into giant Ursula, you know. There's like manageable Ursula. She's pretty cool. She sings a really sassy song. Yes, I want to be human. Here, take my voice, you know. Now I can be human. Yay, but nobody knows what I'm saying until now. You have to face the real Ursula, and she's enormous, and she's the worst case scenario, and you are still weaker than ever, and you don't have your fins, like, you know. It's kind of like we're facing the wrath of larger than life, worse than larger than life ever was before. Don't turn your back on larger than life. You're gonna find out how bad it can really get. All right. But we're going to face it. We'll do it together. High five. We're going to tag team. We're going to handle this. We got this. We're going to let the birds help us. We're going to let the tree and the cave and the sunlight. We're going to let the energies of Virginia help us. We're going to let it all help us, because this is not about just you and you alone, because it is not you and you alone, right? You and you alone can't even cope with yourself coming back. Is this much to work through? You know what I mean? Like, you and you alone, like let's diversify. Let's just share the load, right? Samwise Gamgee, share the load, Frodo. Share the load, you know? Frodo can't do it all by himself. We all know this. We don't even know how two hobbits made it that far. Like, how did they do it? It was Gollum, this wild card. He even was part of sharing the load, you know? Oh yeah, this is so helpful. Like, getting all this is so helpful. Just to talk about it's so helpful. You ask me, my eyes. You're turning pale white, and you look like you're made out of like a white, like porcelain. And whew, you're very cold on the inside, like a dead fish. It's a very cold environment. It's like I smell fish, I smell a fish market, I smell a cold, fishy environment. And you look into my eyes and it's kind of like, will this ever end? Or will you kind of like really pleading with my own eyes, like, please tell me that larger than life is not going to remain. I say, you tell larger than life you don't want it anymore. You tell it. We have everybody here by your side. When you look at larger than life and it's not breaking any bones, it's almost like just an intimidating giant thing. And you look into its eyes, your eyes disappear. And I say, no, you are going to be present with your eyes, and your eyes see larger than life, and we're going to look larger than life in the eyes. Larger than life again starts to have the mallet and wants to smash all of you this time. And since you're made out of porcelain, you're going to be easy to break. I say, ask the birds to help you. And you start coughing, and a bunch of feathers come out of your mouth, and they're like the feathers of an owl. Massive headache still is pounding away. You feel nauseous and seasick. You feel very cold. You feel like the suffering just never goes away, and it's always just, it never goes away, it never leaves. And you like cough out more owl feathers. I say, let the birds, you're the manager of this office and the birds are your workers. So they need the task, give them the task so they can go to work for you. Tell them what the task is. You kind of cough out more feathers as you say, help me. And then it's like instantly lickety split, like, yes, we've got it. We can help you. I have no idea what's going on. It's just a lot of energy just shifting here in your energy field, especially around your throat, the front and the back side, and around your third eye and crown chakra right now. But there's obviously a lot of impact here to the throat, the heart, and the emotional gut with the release of the feathers, the bouquet of leeches, the water, right? You being the porcelain that you are. It's again representing the fragileness of what you left behind, but what we're doing is transmuting it in their presence so you can be your whole self. You seem to, somewhere in your timeline, have believed that something was bigger than you, that you would be up against, and that you would never really be able to face it because it would be bigger than you. It's like the foot that crushes the ant is like this inevitable thing. The ant just doesn't become a mighty ant, and now it's just somehow incredibly stronger than that foot. It's like this just physics. And I say, no, that was a lie you gave yourself. You gave yourself a lie in there. Made sense because of physics, right? But you have not given into the power of energy and the power. I don't know what the words are. I want to try to really, really articulate and define exactly, specifically what it feels like to me representing you. Because I don't want to use the word power. Like, let's just say, when you are yourself completely, when you are truly, genuinely you, it's not like the foot that crushes the ant. That's you could say that's physics and day-to-day human life, but you're not giving way to the power of you, because you can move energies anywhere you want to move them. It's going to give you the power to manifest whatever reality you want. And that can include Bigfoot here or whatever. Can include butterflies. Is Bigfoot here larger than life? Is this persona, do you want to be defeated by something? Is it possible that somewhere you want to be defeated by something? Let's just explore this. We're gonna go to another space, and it's kind of intermixing with this one, but it's basically, we're just going to say, as you yourself, I, Delinda, am defeated. Because I want to see vibrationally the sound of what it creates. Because sometimes honesty, they will say don't make an affirmation like that, but I find that sometimes blatant, raw honesty is a reset button. Even if it is saying, I am defeated. Oddly enough, it can be a powerful reset button, and it's like, wow, I never really gave myself permission to ever use that word. And for some reason, I just as the human being just needed to state it that way, but I actually don't feel that way anymore. Done. Don't need to judge it. Don't need to judge it. After we give this a try, we're just seeing what happens here. I, Delinda, feel defeated. Something happens. Because the battle's over. If one person says I am defeated and the other person says then I have won, and none of it flippin' matters. It's not a game. It's not who wins and who loses. It's almost like your stubbornness needed to just raise the white flag and say, I am done. Were you too stubborn to ever admit that you would ever be defeated, and none of it ever existed? It was all something you needed to just oddly say because of ego. Suddenly, this is a sister part of yourself. You're seeing each other eye to eye. That's why your eyes disappeared. And your eyes are there, her eyes are there, and you're meeting each other eye to eye. And you cry for her. You know why she became the Joker's girlfriend. You know why she went that route. Because life just is a cruel joke, you know? And the joke's on you. And so it's like you had a spliced version that became her, that then was knocking on your door constantly. But because you are one, then the joke would be on both sides of you, right? So then you endure the suffering while she is still trying to get you to wake up, which is only feeding her and her pain, right? So it's just this circulation, right? You're both laughing and you both hug each other and hold each other for a while, like best friends who hadn't seen each other in a really long time. The horns are far away. The fish flapping, the cold, damp, it's far away, and it feels different. It feels like it's being transmuted. It feels like the warmth of like spring and summer. And you cry and you feel blessed. You feel kissed by angels. You feel blessed. You feel grateful. It's like the angels were always here. The angels were always holding you. We had to heal that so that you're 100% caught up with yourself in the present. It's like, I still feel there's more to these birds, and every time I try to look at them differently, they end up kind of disappearing and they become harmony and help and support in Cinderella's story. There's nothing larger than life anymore. Sorry. I'm sorry. Larger than life is checked out because larger than life became eye to eye with you, and then you both merged back together again. So maybe life will feel a little bit more boring now because you're not up against the impossible. Or maybe it will feel like serenity and peace, that you can now just rejoice in that, celebrate in that. But they still show me that it's like when you endure, they show me this really messed up image. Actually, it's like they show me that it reminds me of that Fargo movie where they had the wood chipper and they're putting wood in the wood chipper, but they put these bodies in the wood chipper and feed the pigs. This is all a vague memory of something messed up like this, but I see these branches going in the wood chipper and then I just see bodies going in. It's like if you have felt in your life like you have been through the wood chipper and now you've been barfed out the other side and you're just a bunch of mulch. When you get to a heavenly space, you still have to heal that process. You still have to heal that process, but that process is healing. And the wood chipper is over. The mulch time is over. You're coming together seamlessly. And you're healing. It's kind of like every day you're bringing more light back into yourself. Like you're seamlessly coming back together, and the symptoms of you are the best symptoms anybody could ever hope for. This is not an infection or a daunting thing, or I've got my head's going to explode or whatever. It's like feeling harmonized with yourself. Feeling harmonized with yourself. Best symptoms you could ever have, right? Is the symptoms of harmony and inner peace and self-love and that sort of thing. Oh yeah, man, you're gonna need a nap. I'm telling you, this session, you're gonna need a nap. And it's gonna be like a blanket of sunshine and happiness. It's gonna be refreshing. It's gonna be wonderful. It's like you're gonna feel like you just crawled out of a grave and went to freaking Hawaii or something. I don't know. It feels like a haunted house story to like a dream come true, or it feels like night and day. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna leave all of this energy work here. So let you digest that stuff. I'm gonna go to a totally new space. I'm gonna actually read it word for word as you'd expressed it. Would you tap into feathered fowl around my presence and see what they have to say about the neighborhood specifically? How do the birds feel about the neighborhood? Okay, this is a thing. I'm gonna have to go into this. It's weird, okay? It's weird. It's not like a bunch of happy faces like you would expect. When I go into that question, it literally There's density. I actually experienced pop rocks, which sounds kind of fun, right? But I'm inside a space with rocks that keep popping. I can feel them on my tongue though too. Kind of fun, but they're densely compacted and they really don't have anywhere to go. And so it's jammed up. It's just a weird congested sensation. Imagine being Pinocchio, a wooden puppet, wants to eat pop rocks, but it has no capacity to swallow. Like, it experiences something interesting, but not the joy of being able to go through the whole human process of eating. It's like this represents something that it doesn't follow itself all the way through. It's like it gets to the initial joy, but it doesn't experience the full-fledged process of joy. And it's densely compacted, okay? So why is that the message the feathered friends have to say about the neighborhood? I'm not sure why. I'm gonna move this over here, this over. I'm gonna start to separate this out. So they want me to go to the tree and the cave. Oh man, it's almost like I feel really tall, and I'm like a lighthouse that I can look in all directions, you know, I just look in all directions. And I choose to be tall for a reason. Like, I choose to be tall for a reason. Like, because I choose to see, I want to see, I choose to see in all directions. I choose to see. I don't feel a connection between the tree and the cave. I feel like the tree represents its own self-expression. The cave is like something uniquely different. So I experience the tree as I choose to see. I'm going to grow up to be very, very tall so that I can see in all directions. I am going to be able to see in all directions. I choose to see. It's odd. It's like it keeps saying this. It's like I want to stop time so it can't say that anymore, because I want to go to the heart of the tree. But they're like, just, that's that, and we're going to go to the cave, okay? Oh, that's there for a reason, for sure. That was actually energetically developed. It's so, okay, there's like anomalies of the earth. It's just the mountains just seem to rise right there. And, you know, this is how the earth, the demographic of the hills and the mountains and the forests and the, you know, lakes and all that. It's like how the demographics formed. It's like this is an energy space, but it feels more like a vent for releasing energy than it is a node of perfect like sound, inhaling and exhaling it. It's almost like a poop chute. I believe it or not, vibrationally it comes to me as it was naturally formed to be a perfect structure for energetic release, okay? And exhale. And it doesn't feel happy. All right, I'm gonna go back to the tree. I'm gonna stop time. We're gonna get to this. We're gonna get through this. Is it possible that trauma has happened? And I mean, we're talking about time and history that is buried beneath the surface of our feet, interactions that took place several hundred years ago, you know? Is it possible that there's trauma that is here? Maybe that it feels vibrationally like there's trauma here. Because the tree doesn't want to stop choosing to grow in order to see, because it doesn't want to stop for long enough to actually hear the sound of what it is avoiding. It's like it wants to grow away from pain. but it's part of the pain, and it's like it's a parallel reality of yourself. You're trying to go away from pain only to find it in a different way, but it's not like meant to be a painful time. It's meant to be a time of healing, which tells me that you healing here is you are a representation of healing this space, healing this nature, healing the earth, healing history. This is going to be painful for the tree for a brief moment. It's like ripping the band-aid off, but I've got to stop time. It's not going to like this, but it's going to feel a lot better here in a minute. Oh man, screaming. I just tell it to scream out that poop chute. That's probably what it's there for. That's a lot better. It's like pulling an arrow out of someone's side belly. Like, it's never gonna feel good. There's nothing that feels good about that. It's like pulling a tooth out of your mouth without any Novocaine. Like, there's literally nothing that's going to feel good about that. But it's important that the arrow is removed, or the rotten tooth is removed. Like, it's important. It's important we set the broken bones so that they can heal. Like, there's nothing wonderful about this. But there is, because it's the bridge to feeling better. The tree is finally like settling into its own body now. And it opens its eyes and it sees for the first time, because it was stuck in this state of wanting to grow tall and to see, and it's just, now it's actually, oh man, it's very harmonious. Man, it's shaky and uncomfortable. It's starting to push energy down through its through its hips, and its legs and its feet is pushing energy down, and it's bursting energy up and out. It's actually flowing properly. It's so much better now. It's hilarious. It has a funny sense of humor. It's both male and female at the same time. And it even makes jokes with itself. Sometimes this male side says something funny and the female side says something funny, and then sometimes they say something funny as one voice. This tree is hilarious. This tree has a lot of good humor, and I think the reason why it's got good humor is because it wanted to grow so tall so it could see. It's like it wants to see everything. Because the more that it is able to absorb into itself, it learns and it grows, and it's like the more jokes it could have. Like, there's something about humor here that is really refreshing about this tree. I love it. Okay, the cave feels a lot better too. They obviously do have a connection with one another, because the pain from the tree was able to come out the cave, but the tree's not in pain anymore. And what does this cave still feels like it has the purpose of being there to help vent? But I challenge the cave, and I challenge the earth to say that it's time for a change. So let's see if we can put that process to rest, and explore maybe a different process of venting. Like, it almost feels like it's time to do maybe a restructure of the energetic flow, like grid work here. You know what I mean? Like restructure the energetic flow, because I don't feel like the cave as a vent is necessary anymore. I feel like it's old, as in it can be put to rest now. There's still something about this. I want you to think of something, Delinda, in your imagination. let's say the cave represents exhale. If you would love for it to like maybe smell flowers or smell fresh made spaghetti or something. I mean, it's just almost like give it something to breathe into itself. Fresh air, you know, or a nice glass of water or something. It's your imagination, like it's your sensory skills. Like if we're wanting to create a harmonious flow with this cave, maybe it seems like a poop chute energy instead of it being like, I want it to receive something in return. I don't want it to be exhaling stinkiness. I want it to be inhaling something harmonious and beautiful, you know? I feel like this is an opportunity for grid work in this neighborhood, which at the same time that you're healing the energy of this neighborhood, you yourself are healing. And this grid work will parallel the grid work on your own body, okay? So there's an interesting parallel between this location and your life process and all of that. I swear there's so many weird parallels to what we attract or why we wind up in this place over that place, and it's very interesting. Anything about these birds? Still feel mysterious to me, like they're a bit resistant to. The highest version of them is a rainbow blanket of love and harmony. They want to do the work for you. The images of the adorable bluebirds helping Mary Poppins, helping Cinderella. And this is like the birds that are closest to your neighborhood, the most physically present version. There's something kind of like unresolved in their energies too. They feel a bit muddy to me. I just feel like I'm Pinocchio, and I want the pleasure of not. I don't want to just put the food in my mouth. I want to be able to go through the process of getting. It's like I want to taste the chocolate cake, but I want to eat it too, you know. So it's like there's a gift to being able to swallow the food down, and there's something like it's kind of bottled up. It's not going from beginning to end with its own circulation or process. And I think the birds feel the energy of the space, that we're already starting to shift its energetic dynamic. And I think the birds will feel that too. And perhaps you're part of this. As you heal the space as well. Interesting. Thank you so much, Delinda. What a treat this has been. I really enjoyed this process. Like, you never know what you're gonna get, right? You literally never know what you're gonna get. You should be feeling pretty darn good. I don't know. I mean, between the energy world and your physical body, there may be, you might feel tired. You might feel a little disoriented, because that was pretty darn disoriented to move through it. So there's usually like a digestion period between the energy world and your physical body. So just let this take the time that it needs, but you're going to be feeling like you lost a lot of weight vibrationally. Like the weight of the earth that was on your shoulders isn't there. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel lighter everywhere around you. You're going to feel like you're becoming the light itself. Like you're going to feel more breathable, more breath going in and out. Like you're going to feel more at ease. You're going to feel more safe and secure. You're going to feel like it doesn't, like all the work and all the responsibility is not just yours. Like it's going to feel a little more diversified. That's what's coming to me about this, the digestion process of this session. Give you a lot to think about too. All right, have a phenomenal day. Thank you again, and take care for now.